Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I decided to do something a little different, kind of a review, kind of like a not detailed but detailed version of a review. I just got finished watching the movie I Feel Pretty. Oh my god, it got me so inspired. You know, learning to love your body as it develops and grows is what's most important, and that's what brings out your confidence. You guys, if you haven't seen that movie yet, please go see the movie because it is amazing. I'm telling you, like, it's funny but not too funny, but it has a message within it. Like, you bring out your own self-confidence in your own body, and that's what makes you beautiful. That's what makes you sexy. That's what makes you attractive. So I want you guys to stay tuned on this video. Even if you don't like me or don't think that it's going to be good, please stay tuned to this video because I feel like an internal transformation comes from within yourself. So if you have, that confidence within yourself, then you can spread it to other people. Obviously, the movie didn't spread it to me because I'm not even wearing a regular shirt. I'm just wearing a nice dress looking thing, and I would never wear this. But I want you guys to see me here and then me then after. Alright guys, so I'm using the Smashbox primer, and I'm applying that to my cheeks, rubbing it in really well. I really like this primer for like a smooth canvas to fill in my pores, make sure everything's nice and smooth. And I use another primer from Rimmel, the Lasting Finish one, and I use that mainly on the outskirts of my face just to help the makeup last, even though I'm gonna be taking it off. So next, I'm using this e.l.f. concealer type of palette. It was the only one they had. It was okay. I'm trying to find the words to put it. It was all right. It was lighter than what I thought it was going to be. Next, I'm using the e.l.f. eyebrow pencil, which came with a brush, which is what I like a whole lot. It's in the shade dark brown. They had light brown and dark brown, so if my eyebrows look a little hefty, it's because this may not have been the exact color I needed, but then again, the light brown was way too light. It was almost on gray tones, and it probably would have showed up, but making me look ashy in my eyebrows. So I just went with the dark brown. Next, I did cut it out, but I went on ahead and concealed a little closer to define my brows and clean them up, just to make sure everything was nice and seamless. And I'm setting it using my Wet n Wild setting powder. Next, I'm using my e.l.f. Aqua palette. This palette was $12 at Target. I said, what the Jesus? Now, I did try to do a full review on this palette, but it messed up, and I got an allergic reaction from one of the shades, so the whole video was messed up. But needless to say, I went on ahead and used my Wet n Wild product as well as a base for what I was going to do. So I took the purple shade within this palette, And I just used it as a base using my Morphe brush. I think it's the R39 brush. And just literally using it as my base, going back and forth in my crease. And I'm sorry about the lighting. I tried to do this at night. Real smart. So if the lighting keeps changing, just know I was trying to do this at night. Not smart. Now quickly, I do want to say I did use the e.l.f. palette. The first time I used it, I really didn't like the aqua palette. The idea was cool. The concept was cool. Oh, as you can see, I'm pointing to that lighter purple shade, and I'm using that to soften out the edges, making sure everything is nice and seamless. But back to what I was saying, that's only 2 shades I like in that palette. And it's the purple shade, which you'll see, and the green shade that kind of looks gold on camera. I personally think that the colors don't show up as vibrant as they should or as they look in the palette. I've tried to mute out my whole skin complexion on my eye to make it show, and the best way to apply any of these colors is with your finger, because with a brush it does not really work out. So for $12, I know that sounds real cheap to most, but you know, like I said, I'm a college student balling on a budget. I expect for this to show up somewhat, at least somewhat. Now I'm also using like a dense packing brush from e.l.f. and I'm literally just popping that greenish gold iridescent looking type color on the center of my lid. I mean, but these were like literally the only 2 colors I like. Every other color I did not like, and I felt like it just wasn't gonna do. So I used my Tarte palette, and I'm taking the black shade within the Tarte palette just to define my outer V and crease a little bit more, just to give it more depth, because I felt like with just the purple shades and the green shade, it was kind of just laid out really flat. So just to give it a little bit more dimension, I went on ahead and put that on. And just, I literally kept retouching up the green eyeshadow because I felt like it was getting lost every time I would try to blend or something. Now I'm just using an inner corner highlight to highlight the inner corners of my eyes. And it's also from the Tarte palette. I wish I would have showed you. But just any light golden shade will do for you. Now, I went on ahead and put on my MAC foundation, NC45 Studio Fix. And I'm going back into that e.l.f. palette and trying my best to carve out my face using the darkest shade that they had. I didn't really like how this worked. I mean, it blended out, but it kind of looked muddy a little bit. And on top of that, you know, it's how can I put it? It just looked odd. As you can see, I had to cut out a whole lot of the footage just because it was so long to blend it out. Either I'm not really good with cream products, I don't know. But as you can see, I'm taking some of that light color and blending it in because it was just really muddy, and seeing if that would kind of dim it out a little bit to make it kind of blend a little better. I told you I don't like it. You see how my Face is shaking. Nope, I don't like it. But I still try to use it, at least for the video. I think I'll stick with my LA Colors though. I like my LA Colors Pro Concealer. It never fails me. So I really enjoy that. So what you see me blending out under my lip is also that brown color, just to make my lips look more poutier, and around the top of my lip to define the top lip too. Then I'm taking that light shade and highlighting under my eyes, on my forehead, on my chin, my nose, you know, the regular type of highlighting situation. Now, this creased very quickly. It was very oily feeling. All of this palette is very oily feeling. So it feels really heavy on the face, which was weird to me because I haven't felt heavy makeup in a long time. But this definitely felt heavy. I mean, at least it brightened up a little bit, right? I can say that. It brightened up a little bit. Next, I'm going to take my Wet n Wild contour palette. And the yellow shade, I'm just using to set under my eyes as usual. And on my chin, forehead, carving out my cheekbones, all of that good stuff. Yep. Next, I'm going to take this angled brush and take the brown shade in the Wet n Wild contour palette and just bronze up my face. I really don't use it as like a true contour type of situation. I like it for bronzing up the face, warming it up and stuff. You can never fail with it. Next, I'm going to take that nice pink blush from my Tarte palette and just go ahead and put it on the apples of my cheek using the nice fluffy brush. Then using that highlight from that same Tarte palette and literally applying it everywhere. No, on my cheeks, on the top of my brow bones. Not my brow bones, but like forehead area. Not forehead area. Side of my forehead area. I guess that's what you would call it. Above the eyebrows. I guess would make more sense. You see it. Don't judge me. You see, I'm just living for it. Next, I'm doing my under eye. So I'm just taking a nice purple shade and literally just going under my eye. And kind of just smoking it out just a smidger. Just so it all connects and looks great together. Sorry for blocking my eye. My eyes get really irritated when I do this type of stuff. Like they get really watery and they don't like me. So I apologize about that. Next, I'm taking my Lash Paradise by Loreal and applying mascara. Now, I did forget to curl my lashes. I don't want nobody to say, well, you didn't curl your lashes. I did forget. But this stuff works even without you using a lash curler. I don't really have long lashes. I don't have long lashes at all, period. But I really like the way this lifts mine up in general. Next, I'm taking my milani, my nice milani lipstick, and I will leave the shade somewhere down below. I had to find it because it went missing after this video. But I'm taking my milani and I'm simply using that on my lips, and I also use it as a lip liner to make sure that everything doesn't look crooked, because I have had days where it did look real crooked.